Okay, no, we can start with chanting, invocation.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you. Thank you, Anu. Welcome back to the 15th session. So we covered all the verses of chapter 3 last week. And today we will do a summary. But before we go to the summary, let's listen to the entire chapter from Anu. And then we will do a quick recap of the entire chapter. So Anu, thank you.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Atha Tritiyodhyayaha Karma Yogaha. Arjuna Uvacha Jyayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janatana Tatkim Karmani Ghore Mam Niyojayasi Keshava Vyamishrenev vakyena buddhim mohayasiv me tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyohamapnuyam. Shri Bhagavan vacha lokesmin dvivitha nishtha pura prokta maya nagha Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam na karmanam anarambhat naishkarmyam purushoshnute na cha sanyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati nahi kaschit kshanamapi chatutishtatya karma krit Karyate hyavashah karma sarvah prakriti jair gunaihi karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manasasmaran indriyathan vimuthatma mithyacharasa uchyate yastvindriyani manasa niyamyarabhate jana कर्मेन्द्रियः कर्मयोगम् असक्तस्य विशिष्यते नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येद कर्मणः यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर सह यज्ञाः प्रजाः सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम् एषवोऽस्त्विष्टकामधुक् देवान् भावयतानेन ते देवा भावयन्तु वः परस्परं भावयन्तः श्रेयः परमवाप्स्यथ इष्टान् भोगान् हि वो देवाः दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यः यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात् अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षर समुद्भवम् तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम् एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयति हयः अघायुरिन्द्रिया रामः मोघं पार्थ स जीवति यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानवः आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थः नाकृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः तस्मादसक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परमाप्नोति पूरुषः कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेवेतरो जनः स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि यदि ह्यहं न वर्तेय जातु कर्मण्यतन्द्रितः मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः उत्सीदेयुरिमे लोकाः न कुर्यां कर्म चेदहम् संकरस्य च कर्ता स्याम् उपहन्यामि माः प्रजाः सक्ताः कर्मण्य विद्वांसः यथा कुर्वन्ति भारत कुर्याद् विद्वांस्तथा सक्तः चिकीर्षुर्लोकसङ्ग्रहम् न बुद्धिभेदं जनयेत् अज्ञानां कर्मसंज्ञिनां जोषयेत् सर्वकर्माणि विद्वान् युक्तः समाचरन् प्रकृतेः क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते तत्त्ववित्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्म विभागयोः गुणा गुणेषु वर्तन्ते इति मत्वा न सज्जते प्रकृतेर्गुणसम्मूढाः सज्जन्ते गुणकर्मसु तान् कृत्स्नविदो मन्दान् कृत्स्नविन्न विचालयेत् मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यस्याध्यात्मचेतसा निराशीर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युध्यस्व विगतज्वरः ये मे मतमिदं नित्यम् अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तः मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः ये त्वेतदभ्यसूयन्तः नानुतिष्ठन्ति मे मतम् सर्वज्ञानविमूढांस्तान् विद्धि नष्टान् चेतसः सदृशं चेष्टते स्वस्याः प्रकृतेर्ज्ञानवानपि प्रकृतिं यान्ति भूतानि निग्रहः किं करिष्यति इन्द्रियस्येन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्न वशमागच्छेत् तौ ह्यस्य परिपन्थिनौ श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावहः अर्जुन उवाच अथ केन प्रयुक्तोऽयं पापं चरति पूरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वार्ष्णेय बलादिव नियोजितः श्रीभगवानुवाच काम एष क्रोध एषः रजोगुणसमुद्भवः महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्येनमिह वैरिणम् धूमेन व्रियते वह्निः यथा दर्शो मलेन च यथोल्बेनावृतो गर्भः तथा तेनेदमावृतम् आवृतं ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पूरेणानलेन च इन्द्रियाणि मनो बुद्धिः अस्याधिष्ठानमुच्यते एतैर्विमोहयत्येषः ज्ञानमावृत्य देहिनम् तस्मात् त्वमिन्द्रियाण्यादौ नियम्य भरतर्षभ पाप्मानं प्रजहिह्येनं ज्ञानविज्ञाननाशनम् इन्द्रियाणि पराण्याहुः इन्द्रियेभ्यः परं मनः मनसस्तु परा बुद्धिः यो बुद्धेः परतस्तु सः एवं बुद्धेः परं बुद्ध्वा संस्तभ्यात्मानमात्मना जहि शत्रुं महाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदम् ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुन संवादे कर्मयोगो नाम तृतीयोऽध्यायः.
Thank you very much, Anu. That was brilliant and that was so beautiful. It just gave the whole summary of the chapter.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can do a quick recap. So this chapter is probably one of my favorite chapters. The reason is this is where we begin our practice. Even though there are 18 chapters of Gita, every chapter has beautiful content, relevant content, but where is the starting point? That starting point is this chapter. So today what we will do is we will try to recap the verses covered in this chapter quickly. And we will continue our study of chapter 4 and 5. Once we complete chapter 3, 4, and 5, we will take a pause and we will try to understand the entire scope of Karma Yoga in a holistic manner. So that way you get the whole Karma Yoga. So this chapter, I'm going to summarize it. Please raise any questions you have. This chapter is a wonderful chapter. So please try to enjoy the beauty of this chapter. So there are 4 major topics covered in this chapter. The first the first few verses 1 to 7 is an introduction and of this chapter. What is the role of Karma Yoga in our overall spiritual path? And is Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga are competing path? So that's the topic. We will come back to this. And the second topic is from verse 8 to verse 20. That is the biggest body of this chapter. The second topic of this chapter elaborately discuss what is Karma Yoga. So what is Karma Yoga? Beautiful definition, proper work with proper attitude. That topic is brilliantly expressed in the second topic, which is from verse 8 to verse 20. And the third topic is from verse 22 to 29. The relevance of Karma Yoga for a jnani, a person self-realized master, or how long one should practice Karma Yoga. So that is the topic. And for a jnani, what is the relevance of this Karma Yoga? So that is the topic covered in the third portion, which is from verse 22 to 29. And the fourth topic, which is from verse 30 to 35, it summarizes the entire Karma Yoga brilliantly. Beautiful summarization of Karma Yoga. And also it talks about if you follow this Karma Yoga, what is the benefit? And if you don't follow this Karma Yoga, what is the problem? So that is the next topic. And final topic is from verse, I would say from 36 to 43. That was an Arjuna's question. What is the biggest obstacle in this path? So these are the topics covered in this chapter. So the first topic is introduction. The second topic is what is Karma Yoga. The third topic is for a jnani, for a self-realized master, what is the role of Karma Yoga. The fourth topic is the summary of the Karma Yoga. And the fifth topic is what are the obstacles and how that obstacles can be removed. These are the 5 topics covered in this chapter. And this chapter has how many verses? 43 verses. So this is the high level summary, and we can go each of this topic. So let's take the first part. The first topic is from verse 1 to 7. It is the introduction of this Karma Yoga. So the context of this chapter is, the second chapter is an entire summary of the Bhagavad Gita. The second chapter touches almost all topic covered in the Bhagavad Gita. While the second chapter touches Karma Yoga, which is from verse 38 to 53, the predominant portion of that chapter, for example, means from initial discussion, right? The verse 11 to 25, and then finally the last portion of the second chapter predominantly talk about the role of knowledge, self-realization. For example, ashocyanannashojastum prajnavadamscha bhashase gatasu nagadam sumscha na anishocanti pandidaha, right? Prajahati yata kaman sarvan parthamanogadan atmani eva atmanatushtaha stita prajnasya dochyate. And finally, Krishna concludes the second chapter by again focusing on the role of knowledge. He said, Esham brahmi sthiti partha nainam prapya vimuhyati stitva tvam antakalepi brahma nirvana muchyati. So this state of self-realization is the ultimate destination. Knowing yourself is the ultimate solution for all our sufferings and all our problems. And the only means, mind you, the only means to acquire that state is knowledge. So naturally, Arjuna had a question, and all of us have that question. If knowledge is the solution for all our problem, why are we asked to follow Karma Yoga or yoga instead of going and renouncing the world and studying the scriptures? If knowledge is the ultimate solution, so it's like you say that for you to get to the college, you need this degree, but you are asked to go and study in a kindergarten. For you to go to the college, you need to have passed 12th, but I am asked to go to the kindergarten. There is an apparent contradiction. So Arjuna felt that the highest the solution for the ultimate problem is something, but I am asked to do something else. Why is it possible? Why can't I go and study the scriptures and get the self-realization? So that is how the chapter opened up. And I pointed out the beauty of our scripture. Even if the God himself is the teacher, you are allowed to question. It's very important. You are not supposed to blindly believe anything or blindly accept anything. Yes, you have to have faith, but that doesn't mean that you need to follow blindly the teacher says. So Arjuna, in fact, it's a very interesting question. He said, Vyami shrenena vakyena buddhim mohayasi, as though confusing. He didn't say that it is confusing and it is wrong, but he said that for me, it appears to be confusing. So Arjuna also followed that modesty and decency. He said that your teaching is not wrong. It means he didn't say that your teaching is wrong or confusing? He said that it seems for me that this teaching seems to be confusing. So Krishna clarifies that in the next few verses. He said, see, it is true that there are two steps in this path of spiritual journey. One is Jnana Yoga or Jnana, knowledge, and the other one is Yoga or the Karma Yoga. And you don't have a choice in these steps. Everybody, including a sannyasi, has to follow these two steps. Step one, make your mind what? Pure and stable. Second step, with that pure and stable mind, try to understand yourself. And understanding yourself will free you from all sufferings. But for you to understand yourself, for you to employ that knowledge, there is some prerequisites. And I don't have to tell you, everything there is a prerequisite. When you go for COVID vaccine, even there is a prerequisite, right? When you go to COVID vaccine, what do they check?
Temperature.
Exactly. So everywhere in the world, for you to pursue anything, there is a prerequisite. When you go to a job, when you get a permanent job, there are some prerequisites. Don't they do the drug test? Or don't they check your experience? Everywhere there is a prerequisite. And Karma Yoga is going to give you that prerequisites for you to pursue knowledge. So please understand that there is no choice in between Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. Please understand that. And I'm just highlighting this. Even now, a lot of people are confused with this. A lot of Hindus or the Vedantins say that, okay, Karma Yoga is a parallel path to Jnana Yoga. No. There is no choice between karma and jnana. Every other yoga you talk is part of karma yoga. Upasana yoga, if you say, it is part of the broader karma yoga. If you take Ashtanga yoga, it is part of the karma yoga. If you say bhakti yoga, it is part of karma yoga. So the entire yoga practices can be combined into karma yoga. And once you have that stable and pure mind, you have to practice knowledge. So there is no choice in these steps. But there is a choice. Where? How do you practice the spiritual journey? You have a choice. One is you can practice the spiritual journey as a householder, and you can practice, other option is you can practice the spiritual path as a sannyasi. So there is two paths, and both these paths, the karma yogi, the householder as well as sannyasi, has to go through this yoga and knowledge. There is no choice in that yoga and knowledge. So even in sannyasa ashrama, suppose somebody goes to sannyasa, they are supposed to do this karma yoga or the karma. And you know what? Traditionally, it is indicated by a symbol in their hand. Have you seen this traditional sannyasi carries a stick or a danda? Have you seen the Shankaracharya or such traditional sannyasi carrying a danda?
Yeah, you see that in movies, I guess.
Yeah. So that danda indicates the karma. The traditional sannyasis carries a danda, and that danda indicates symbolically that they have to do this karma yoga, upasana yoga for cleansing their mind and purifying their mind. So now the question is, what is Krishna's advice? Should I approach my spiritual journey as a householder, or should I approach the journey as a karma yogi? Sorry, sannyasi. Krishna says, I cannot answer that, right? So if I ask you, the doctor who is prescribing the medication, should I ask that doctor, suppose I go to the doctor and ask for a medicine for diabetes, it may not work. The doctor will prescribe the diabetic medication for a person who is diabetic. But instead, my problem is blood pressure. What medication I should get? Blood pressure medication. So which path I should take? It is based on my mental temperament. If I am fond of this worldly life, or if I am more interested, if this worldly life, I'm not saying that fond, if that worldly life, like working among people, doing the job and taking care of the family, if you enjoy that, for such people, the household path is better. But if I don't have any interest in this worldly objects, I really want to dedicate myself into studies and practice, such people, sannyasa is better. So it is purely upon the nature of the individual, one should take one path. And I'm 100% sure that everybody sitting in this class is householders. And that is what our mental temperaments. And Shankaracharya even tells, it is better to be a practicing householder rather than a sannyasi going into the wrong path. Krishna also say, right? Krishna says such people are hypocrite. Karmendriyani samyamya yayaste manasasmaran indriyarthan vimudhatma mithyacharasya uchyate. So Krishna said 90% or 95%, if I extend that, 99.99% of the people are fit for the householder path. So most of us has to do, we just need to continue our path and make that path more beautiful, right? That's what it is. So this itself is a revolutionary teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. And such people whose mental inclination is for the household life, if they go to sannyasa, they will bring disgrace to sannyasa. The sannyasi will become a joking matter or a joking matter for the entire humanity. And that's what you see in the modern world. Some sannyasis or some people bring disgrace to the sannyasi and sannyasa discipline and culture because they are wrong fit, wrong recruits. Correct? Suppose you put me into a singing job, I'll bring singing disgrace to singing job. Whereas if you put me into something else where I'm shines, I may do well. That's exactly what happens. A person who is not a perfect fit for a sannyasi, when he takes sannyasa, he will bring disgrace to sannyasa. This is a common law. So this is the first portion, right? So in that first portion, what is the role of karma yoga? What is the path of jnana? This is clearly differentiated, and we saw that there is no choice between karma yoga and jnana, but there is a choice in the lifestyle if you want, and that lifestyle one has to pick based on one's own mental temperament. Any question? That is topic number 1.
So, like, basically, there is no path that is superior to other.
Exactly.
For realizing God.
Exactly.
Both are equally potent.
Both are equally good. It is based on my temperaments I should pick. That's it. And one more comment is 99% of the people fit into one category. Sannyasa is not for everybody.
But at the same time, sannyasa is not inferior to a householder either.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Both are equal. Now, coming back to the second topic, the meat of this chapter, which is from verse 8 to 20. What is karma yoga? So this we spend a lot of time. I would assume all of you have clarity on this topic. Karma yoga, the definition itself is proper work with proper attitude. So what is proper? You need to unpack and drill down into each of these words. What is proper work? Proper work means any work you do which is not tamasic. That is proper work. But that is not just that proper work. There are 3 things to be considered here. One is the karmas or actions are divided into three categories: tamasic karma, rajasic karma, and swatik karma. When you say proper work, you are not allowed to do tamasic karma. And by the way, what is tamasic karma? Anybody remembering?
The action that is only beneficial for oneself and not and could be harmful for others.
Not could
Is
be.
harmful.
It is certainly
It is
harmful.
harmful. It's
Yeah.
certainly harmful.
Yeah.
Yes. Otherwise, it's
100%. You are making profit by hurting other people. They are not, in modern world, they are illegal actions. They are cheating actions. They are not stand with the rule of the law of the land. They are bad actions. And you are not supposed to do that. Second is rajasic action. What is rajasic action? I am the only beneficiary, but I'm in compliance with the law. I'm not hurting, knowingly I'm not hurting anybody. Please, that's very important. Knowingly, I'm not hurting. My intention is not to hurt others and take advantage of that. That is rajasic action. When you go to, say, Citibank and work, or when you go to MetLife and work and you earn your salary, who is the beneficiary?
Myself.
I am the beneficiary. But is that legal?
Yes.
It is, am I knowingly hurting anybody?
No.
No. So that is rajasic. You can continue to do that. But there is one more clause. So Krishna said, while engaging the rajasic actions, you cannot do tamasic. And he had one more point. What is that? You have to do swatik. While you cannot do rajasic, for making your actions proper actions, you have to do swatik actions. What is the definition of swatik actions? Or sattva karma? I might be a beneficiary, right? I might be. Sometimes I may not be even a beneficiary. I might be a beneficiary, but definitely it benefits other people. So that is sattvic action. And Krishna says, this sattvic actions you have to do in a holistic fashion. So what are they? Pancha Mahayajna. So you have to do this Pancha Mahayajna very regularly. I said at least do that on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. Just make sure that I'm doing this Pancha Mahayajna. See, I do on a monthly basis. That's what I do. I personally try to do. You can do that on a weekly basis, but every month I have a checkbox. Make sure that I try to do this Pancha Mahayajna. So what are these Pancha Mahayajna?
Manushya Yagna, Dev Yagna, Bhut Yagna.
Right. 3.
Brahma Yajna.
Correct. One more.
Pitru.
Yeah, you got it. I know. Pitru Yajna. So let's go one by one. What is Manushya Yajna?
Helping others.
Helping other humanity. That's it. What should be my attitude? Oh, I'm helping you. No. You are giving me an opportunity to do some swatik karma. That is my attitude. Correct? And I'm going to explain that a little bit down, but Deva means Manushya Yajna is helping others' humanity gracefully. Then Bhuta Yajna means what? Supporting other beings other than human beings in the universe. So the nature, the other animals, everything. A, you can make sure that you are not hurting them. B, you can do something. One example I said, right? Just plant a small, just put a plant in your backyard. Right? So the other day when I was doing this, somebody messaged me offline in YouTube and said, I live in Manhattan. The whole apartment is like a backyard. So what can I do? I said, still you can plant a small tree there, small plant there. What does it matter? So you can do Bhuta Yajna. That is very important. Then the third thing is what? Pitru Yajna. Pitru Yajna, typically people think that I can do these Shraddha karmas or some rituals and that is over. No. Harmonious family, right? So you wanted to give some time to your family. It's not parents and old elders. I would extend that to the spouse and your children. Imagine, right? They have also a perspective. And I'm sorry, but Indian men are notorious not seeing that other perspective. I've seen that so many people were talking to me offline, and I'm surprised to see. So consider them, talk to them, spend some time with family. It might be just 5 minutes. And sometimes you don't even realize the value of having these people around us. So talk to them. Yes, the rituals are good to remember these people after they are passing away. But I would give more importance in spending some time. It need not be hours after hours. Maybe a weekly call to your parents every week, at least. Spending 5 minutes time with your children every day. Having some time together. Go somewhere together and be thankful for having a family. And one thing I would say, Krishna talked in the Gita. I try to explain that, even the other side. So one thing is, please understand that for any relationship to flourish, it has to be active and it has to be engaging. It has to be active and it has to be engaging. If your spouse does something good, appreciate it. Not in the mind. I know the previous generation had a attitude. They don't express love openly. Swami Chinmayananda used to say, he gave a beautiful example. He said it's like wrapping up a gift and not giving the actual gift. So when you express something good to your parents or children or spouse and understand what exactly they like and try to understand some good moments they have and try to relive that moment occasionally. Mind you, this is the formula for a wonderful family. And having a wonderful family is the greatest gift for every human being. And when you love unconditionally, when you love them beyond this simple binding attachment, you could see that love flourishes. And again, like, as I said, when you say your family, it need not be a blood relationship always. You can have even closer relationship with other people as friends or as even family. So try to make that family and you would be blessed. So this is Pitru Yajna. When you make it as a yajna, put conscious effort to build that relationship. When you build that relationship, it flourishes, and it's such a great feeling. I can personally talk volume about that because at least a few people are there with me who are even absolutely no relationship with me, but they are more than my family. So it's very important to build that. So this is Manushya Yajna. Then the next one is Deva Yajna. Deva Yajna means, see, you know that means all my achievements, who is responsible? Certainly I am responsible. Without me putting effort, nothing is going to happen. But along with my hard work, there is always an X factor. You all know that, right? See, I can put my best effort in a project at work, but there could be something else which could stall the success of that project. And always remember that higher factor. Call it as universal law, call it as nature, or call it as whatever name you want. And you want to pray and surrender to that higher power. And that is Deva Yajna. And finally, when you live your life, you wanted to live it efficiently. And that ideas are discussed in the scriptures. So the study and propagation of the scripture is very important. And that is what is Brahma Yajna. So Manushya Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna. Please do all these things. This is proper work. And proper attitude is what? Simple. Krishna says Samatvam, equanimity of the mind is the proper attitude. So how do you get that equanimity of the mind? Krishna gave two techniques. One is while performing the action, you need to follow an attitude of Ishwara Arpana Buddhi. When I dedicate that action as an offering to God, that becomes Ishwara Arpana Buddhi. And when I get the result, I take the attitude of Prasada Buddhi. When I take that Prasada Buddhi, I get again that equanimity. So when you do this lifestyle, you are in Karma Yoga. It's brilliantly defined. Some beautiful verses are there, especially showing you how the universe works together, right? I really like Yajñarthva karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangas samacharaha. And then Krishna beautifully said, the whole world was when the world got manifested, this idea of yajna was there. Sahayajna pracha srishtva purovacha prachapatihi anena prasavishyartham yeshavostishta kamadhuk. May this be the path of success. When you follow this lifestyle, your success is guaranteed. Then we talked about the thanksgiving, right? Everything in this universe has a perfect harmony. We talked about the order of the universe, how things work together, and being sensitive to that order and being part of that order. That is Karma Yoga. So the Karma Yoga can be viewed as different perspective, right? As a gratitude, you can express Karma Yoga. As my own dharma, I can execute Karma Yoga. I can execute Karma Yoga as a commandment from Ishvara, if you want to take it. That's not our style. And these are some of the key. It's a model. Means these are the three perspectives of looking at Karma Yoga. Initial stage, I can look the Karma Yoga as a commandment from Lord, or one when I get mature, I can feel that it is my gratitude. And the third, when I'm a little bit more mature, I think that, yeah, this is where my harmony or my path to progress is Karma Yoga. So as a commandment, ajna, or as a what you call as a gratitude. The second thing or the third option is as a dharma. You can execute karma. So again, just keep this in mind, proper work with proper attitude. So this is the second topic. Any questions? Please remember this. This is probably the most important topic of the Bhagavad Gita, because this is the beginning stages of anybody's practice.
Rajaji, praying and meditation,
Yeah.
would they fall under Brahma Yajna or Deva Yajna?
Meditation is under, if you are meditating upon an external object, it falls under the Deva Yajna.
Okay.
Brahma Yajna is the study.
Is the
Shravanam, Mananam will come under Brahma Yajna.
Okay.
Okay. So the third topic, which is from verse 22 to 29, how long one needs to consciously practice this karma yoga. Krishna says, till you get self-realized, till you get that knowledge about yourself, you need to continue. And then he tells why. Because for a realized master, whatever karma he performs, automatically that will be aligned with karma yoga. So what comes to a jnani automatically, that needs to be followed consciously by a practitioner. And he brings up an important point. Understand that following this karma yoga, even for a jnani, is important, because whatever a Shrestha Purusha, a noble person, does, everybody will imitate. And that's a teaching not even for the jnanis, everybody. See, if I tell my child to go and do the exercise while I'm a couch potato, is that going to work? If I watch TV 24/7 and ask my child to go and study always, is that going to work? People will follow more what I do than what I preach. So every one of us is a model to some people. So we have a responsibility of keeping the good lifestyle, right from health to everything. So that is highlighted in this verse. So how long one needs to continue? Throughout his life. But till you get self-realized, you need to consciously practice karma yoga, because what comes to a jnani by default is aligned with this teaching. So that's the next topic, third topic. And after that, Krishna summarizes the whole karma yoga from verse 30 to 35. So the verse 30th is one of the most important verses of this chapter. And Anu, sorry to put you on spot. Can you chant that verse? Because that verse summarizes the karma yoga brilliantly.
Sorry, what, Rajesh? Which?
30th verse of third chapter.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasyathyaatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudhyasva vigatajvaraha.
This verse brilliantly summarizes karma yoga in 5 points. The first one is what? Adhyatma chetasa, or highest priority of one's life is spiritual goals. That doesn't mean that the material goals are not important. The material goals can be aligned with spiritual goals. So the prioritization of one's life, because the money is required, but the money won't solve all my problem. Relationships are required, but that won't solve all the problems. So understanding that spiritual knowledge is the only solution for all my problem, and prioritize that. So that is point number 1. The second point here is Ishwara Arpana Buddhi. Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya. So offer all your actions onto the higher. So that is the second point. The third point is, what is that? Mirashi. Mirashi means not desperate, not at all. It only means that you need to be prepared for the unexpected results. Unexpected results. So that is what is prasada buddhi. Whatever you get, you take it as from God. After putting all the effort, take whatever results you get. So the first one is prioritization of the spiritual goal. Second one is the Ishwararpana Buddhi. The third one is the Prasada Buddhi. The fourth one is Nirmamo Bhuktva. You enjoy the results you get, but with an attitude of Nirmama, meaning that understand the presence of that grace. Because Yes, you are the author of your results, but you got some grace from the top. Not from the top, from Ishvara. So nirmama. So enjoy with that attitude. That's fine. And finally, vikata joraha. Be emotionally intelligent. You cannot be carried out by the emotions. So this is the 5 points. Once again, if you remember these 5 points, Karma Yoga is very easy. The first point is prioritization of spiritual goals of life. Second one is Ishwararpana Buddhi. The third one is Prasada Buddhi. The fourth one is that humility, or recognizing the grace in the life, recognizing that sensitivity, being sensitive to the entire cosmos, because we talked about this extensively, right? When I look at a plant, understand that even that plant is supporting my life. So I can deliver a lot of results, but I got all the raw materials and support and the grace from God. So that is what is nirmama. And finally, emotionally intelligent. Vikata juraha, not with a stable mind. Samatvam yoga uchyate. We talked about this earlier. So this one verse brilliantly defines karma yoga. And then Krishna tells, right, the benefit of doing karma yoga. If you do the karma yoga, you will spiritually progress and you will be materially progress. And whoever do not follow karma yoga, what happens? Krishna said they are spiritually doomed. Yeah, they may get some material benefits, but their life will be always under stress. They cannot progress well. And in fact, by up to this, Krishna summarized and completed this chapter. But Arjuna had a question. What was that question? The question is, Athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anischannapi varshneya belat iva niyojitaha. As if somebody is forcing me, I'm doing wrong things. I want to do good things. I want to keep my body in shape. I wanted to be healthy. I want to eat healthy. I want to do so many things. But practically, I'm not able to do that. Something in me forces me to act wrong things. So what is that? And Krishna explained that brilliantly. That is the last portion, which is from verse 36 to 43. He tells the basic enemy is not the enemy outside. The greatest enemy is not the enemy outside. It is the enemy within you. And what is that enemy within you? It is the binding desires. It is the binding desires and the anger or the rage associated with that binding desires is what putting you into trouble. He brilliantly explains that. And because the anger is always a byproduct of what? It is when my desire is obstacled, or any obstruction to my desire is translated as anger. That's the point. And he explains where exactly they are located. They are located in my sense organs, they are located in my mind, and they are located in my intellect. So how do I solve this? I address this problem by first, there are two solutions. There is a temporary solution and there is a permanent solution. The temporary solution is first control your sense organs. Control your sense organs. Arnabji, you might be studying the book, reading the book Atomic Habit. What is the first thing they say? Reduce the cues, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's exactly what Krishna told. So this good old technique is exactly what Krishna said. So a simple example, you might be snacking a lot. If you keep all these snacks on your kitchen counter, what is going to happen? Every time you go and get a water, what do?
You tempt to just nibble.
You take a snack.
Yeah.
So what is the first thing you need to do?
Remove the triggers, remove
Correct.
the cues.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are addicted to TV, what you can do? Every time after watching the TV, you can move the TV to another room. If the TV is if you keep the TV in your bedroom, what is going to happen?
Yeah. Hide the remote control.
Right. Hide the remote control or take the battery out of the remote control. These are modern techniques. I'm just telling that what exactly Krishna said is what is being reaffirmed in 21st century. So that is the first goal. Then actually means you try to eliminate your bad habits and substitute that with good habits through the mind and intellect. Right. So simple technique Krishna given is exactly referred in the Atomic Habits book. Is if I speak the modern language, it will just say that remove the cues of your bad habits and increase the cue of your good habits. Suppose you keep your fruits or healthy snacks on the kitchen counter. What is going to happen? You eat
I'm going
more.
to go towards the fruits.
Right.
Healthy eating.
Yeah. Another thing. See, I had a problem. I mean, my hydration or water intake was very, very small. I never drink enough water. One thing I changed is wherever I carry, I keep the water bottle now. So it's not to the perfect level, but I can see that it increases. So you're increasing the Q, positive Q. So the relative, this is exactly what Krishna described in this verse. So at the sensory level, you control the sense organs in such a way that positive things are in front of you. The negative things are away from you. Then with the mind, right? Even if you see the healthy snacks or less calorie intense snacks, your mind has to say that, to do that. So controlling your intellect, mind, and the sense organs so that you avoid the negative things and try to develop good things into your system. But these are all temporary solution. The permanent solution is what? Practicing this karma yoga, get a pure, clean, and a stable mind, and finally connecting with your Atma. That is the permanent solution. So starting solution is this temporary solution, but eventually you need to continue to practice this spiritual path. And that is where the like-minded people, because the culture you are in is, again, you can see this in the Atomic Habit. I've read this in multiple books. Multiple researches shows that. For example, if a culture, if you are with a set of lazy people, what would be my attitude? Lazy attitude. But if I am with a set of people who are really hardworking, who are spiritual seekers, who value these things, who wanted to grow in life, not as just materially alone, but spiritually, having that satsang is very important because it will motivate me, it will help me to grow further. So with the help of this satsang, with the help of this study and the scriptures, and above all, by the grace of God, we all can grow. So please start the Karma Yoga. This is something that I can start immediately. I don't have to have any other pre-qualification to start the Karma Yoga. And this is how the whole chapter is laid out. And personally, this is one of my favorite chapter with these 5 topics. Once again, there is introduction, and along with the introduction, the whole Karma Yoga is elaborated. So verses 1 to 6 is introduction. Verse to 7 to 20 is Karma Yoga. And the next topic is the role of the Karma Yoga, how long you need to practice Karma Yoga, or how Karma Yoga is applicable to a Jnani. And then from verse 30 to 35, it is a summary of the Karma Yoga. And I would request you to remember the verse 30, because that is probably one of the most important verses of the Bhagavad Gita, because it summarizes the entire Karma Yoga. And finally, the biggest obstacles in the path of Karma Yoga, which is the binding desires, how it can be controlled with the help of my sense organs, mind, and intellect. Understand that I can control what I'm engaged in and what I'm not engaged in. And finally, the ultimate solution is the self-knowledge. So this is the summary of the chapter. My God, exactly at 6 o'clock. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, a quick question, Rajesh.
Sure.
When it says be emotionally intelligent, meaning don't be on a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster. Is that
Correct.
what it's trying to say?
Exactly. So emotions are good, but don't be too much carried away by that emotion. For example, anxiety is good, but if you're too much anxious, it's not good. So that is emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
So Rajeshji, the way to operationalize karma yoga, put it into action in everyday lives, is Pancha Mahayagna, right?
Absolutely. Start with Panchamahayajna and try to be mindful in what you are doing, right? So what type of actions I do predominantly. So try to, so even again, I'm really want to, I don't know why this book comes to me always. The Atomic Habits, they say, monitor your habit. And they say to create a habit scorecard, right? So they just tell you from morning onwards what you do, and then try to understand what to eliminate and what to pursue. Like that, just look at your life, where exactly I'm doing what type of actions I'm doing on a high level, and just try and see, okay, this action I need to eliminate, and where I'm not doing Panchamahayajna, try to do that. And when you do at least this Panchamahayajna, try to do with Ishwararpana Buddhi and Prasada Buddhi. Suppose you help somebody, and if he ignores you later point of time, if you get upset, okay, you are not practicing the Prasada Buddhi and Ishwararpana Buddhi. This is the start of your spiritual journey. You can start that immediately. And operationalizing this is easy thing to operationalize. This is not a high end meditation. This is very easy. How do you feel this chapter? At least, are you appreciating the depth of this chapter now?
Sure, Rajesh.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Sannyasa and the householder, getting the clarity on that is awesome.
here, Rajeshji, I wanted to say that the beauty of this chapter is, scriptures can be very dry and abstract unless you know how to operationalize it, how to put it into action. And this chapter is all about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to summarize this chapter. And that is why I like this chapter very much. And there is one more chapter like this, which is chapter 6, which helps you to operationalize the Upasana Yoga, the meditation, which we will see soon.
Rajesh, like the first 6 chapters are Tat, and the second one Tatvam. I think Tat is like what you need to do on a day-to-day basis, and that's why it's a lot more useful. Tvam is nice to know, but sometimes it's sort of, hey, I need to at least practice what's preached in the 1 to 6.
Absolutely, that is true.
And I think Tvam doesn't come without the Tat.
Absolutely.
You need to practice Tat first.
So this is the beauty of this chapter. So please, Anu, if you don't mind, like, you can record this once again and put that to the group. Everybody can listen this whenever you get a chance.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And please listen to these verses and try to understand. If you study this chapter, it's going to help you a lot. Okay, so we will take a break next Sunday. And when we come back on June 1st week, we'll start chapter 4. Chapter 4 is a brilliant chapter again. It again answers a lot of questions. A lot of us might be wondering, what is this caste system? How this caste system is associated with our culture? What is the authentic definition of that, which is completely different from usually people say and practice? That answer is given And the fourth chapter also talks about who is an avatara, what is the role of an avatara, and some of brilliant verses. Yatha yatha hi dharmasya glanar bhavati bharata apyuthanam adharmasya. That verse is there. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. All of you might have watched that old Mahabharata serial. The whole serial used to start like that. When I was a child, I used to. That's how I came across this verses first time. It was everybody used to remember these verses because of thanks to that Mahabharata serial. I'm talking about that B.R. Chopra serial when we were all kids. All of you remember that?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
best Mahabharata actually.
Yeah. It was nostalgic. I think we used to Sunday morning, nothing. The whole street used to become silent.
Nitish Bharadwaj as Krishna.
Yeah,
It was just perfect.
it is beautiful. Okay, so thankful to God for giving the opportunity to discuss the Karma Yoga with all of you. It's a great blessing. So thanks. And then I know really this would not have been so good without your chanting. So express my sincere thanks to you for doing this wonderful chanting, because that makes a huge difference.
Yes, we agree. We agree.
Totally.
That's your kindness to say that, but thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Nice.
Your
So
sessions are very, very helpful, and it is really helping from inside all of us, surely. So, yeah, I think as you said, we can die happily. So, yeah.
Yeah. So we will continue to explore these verses, and please study. And Brahma Yajna is important, so please study. One more verse, two verses I would like you to contemplate. This Annat Bhavanti Bhudani Parjanyad Anna Sambhavaha Yajnat Bhavata Parjanya Yajna Karma Sukha. That verses. So that's also, it's so beautiful and most misinterpreted verses. So if you take a commentary and read this Karma Yoga, you will get completely confused. This is what happened to me once. Like I think when I started some interest in Bhagavad Gita, I started reading this Karma Yoga, and it confused me like anything. It is a lot of people without any connection, without any background. So very important that we put our own effort in understanding and connecting the dots. Okay, thank you. I know, could you please do the final invocation and we can close here.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.